Hey guys, welcome to my channel and thanks for tuning in. My name is Aye and I'm here with the eyeshadow focused makeup tutorial for you guys. So jumping right into this video, I'm starting off with my brows. As you guys can see, my face is already done or close to being done. So I'm starting off with my brows. The brow pencil that I'm using is the Absolute Brow Pencil in the color Smoke, which is almost kind of like a black color. So I'm just holding the pencil with very little pressure so I don't get like a super dark outcome for my brows, and I'm just lightly shading in my sparse areas, which is the top of my brows, mainly the tail and a little bit of the front, and using my spoolie to brush that product throughout my brows. Now to conceal the bottom of my brows, I'm using my LA Girl concealer in the shade Cool Tan, and the brush that I'm using is a Bdellium Tools brush. I will leave the number of the brush down below in the description bar also. So whenever I'm concealing my brows, I like to go in slow strides because it gives me a more precise finish, and that way in case I mess up or I feel like I can go back and make the brow smaller, I could always go back in and do that. So now I'm going in with my Real Technique Expert Concealer Brush, and I'm just buffing that concealer into my skin for a nice even surface. And you guys will also notice that I do have lash extensions on. So this is actually my second time filming this video. The first time I did it, I didn't like the outcome of the first video, so I decided to refilm it. And when I refilmed it, I had lash extensions on because I was about to go on vacation. So I'm just gonna be working around my lash extensions throughout this video. So I'm going in with my PLouise Base and I'm buffing this base all over my eyelid, and I'm gonna bring that base upwards a little bit above my eyelid space because I am going to be putting transition colors up there. So you want that base to be wherever you're going to place your eyeshadow colors. So for this eye look, I did use multiple palettes. The first eyeshadow color I'm using is No Beans from the Morphe James Charles palette, and I'm placing that color right in the beginning of where my crease folds. And as you guys can see, I'm gradually working the color onto my eyelid space. So I'm patting it on and then I'm slowly working on blending it out. And when I'm blending it out, I'm not bringing the color too far upwards. That way the color is still in place and I still have more space to add my other eyeshadow colors. So going into this red from the Saharan 2 palette, I'm patting that right onto the edge of where the previous eyeshadow ended. And I also realized that this color didn't make a difference, so that's why I didn't add so much of it. So I would also say that it's optional. Now I'm taking this brighter red from the Festival palette and an NYX blending brush, and I'm repeating the same step. So for the background colors, I'm basically just gradually working the colors on top of each other without bringing them so far up. That way I still have space to place my next eyeshadow color. So now I'm grabbing this yellow shade from the Zulu palette and slowly working on packing that on with my Wet n Wild eyeshadow brush. And notice that I'm not blending this color out because in my experience, trying to blend out the yellow doesn't always work. So for the best results, it's best to pack it on. So some of the colors did end up merging together, so for a better visual and to pop those colors back out, I'm working backwards down into my crease using the same brush that I used for each color. And also now that each color is in place, if I decided that I wanted to push the colors higher, this would be my chance to do so. So now I'm going to take this black from the Morphe and James Charles palette and I'm placing this right in the outer V of my eye going into my crease. Blending black eyeshadow could be a struggle sometimes, so I find that if I need to put a black eyeshadow into any of my looks, doing it last is better and less stressful for me when it comes to blending it out. But as you guys can see, blending is definitely key, so you do want to take your time and, you know, just find whichever method works for you. This is pretty much the method that I go with, and it's what works for me and gives me the results that I like. So now going in with my crown brush and my Inglot gel liner, I'm going to mark indentations while my eye is still open. And this is going to be my guideline for where I'm going to stop my cut crease. So I'm just going to apply that base all over my eyelid. You just want to use a really thin layer. You don't want it to be too clumpy and you don't want to apply too much. It's a really smooth base, so you don't really need so much. So now focusing on where I place those indentation marks, that's where my cut crease is going to stop. So I'm gonna be all up in my mirror, making sure I'm taking my time to achieve a nice sharp defined line. This is how you get that perfect sharp cut crease. Take your time. You don't want to rush through this step, and get all up in that mirror if you need to, because I sure do. And I even be all up in my client's face doing the same exact step. So make sure you take your time. No one's rushing you. Do what you got to do to make sure you get that nice sharp cut crease, okay? So now I'm going to place these two pigments on top of that Inglot base. When using a pigment with this base, you don't need to apply a glue because the base is a bit tacky. So this will allow the pigment to adhere to the base. To avoid the pigment flying all over the place, you should use a small brush, work in small sections, and make sure you're not picking up so much of the product at once. And if you cut your cut crease above the hooded eye, you shouldn't have any transfer when you open your eye. Now I'm going back in with the black eyeshadow, making that corner darker and then diffusing where the pigment and the eyeshadow meet. And then I went back in and added my final layer of pigment. Now I'm going to add some liner on the top using my Wet n Wild Megaliner in Noir. And this is just liner. I didn't choose to add a wing to this liner. I don't like wing liners on my eyes. I think that they look so strange on me, or I just don't like how it looks on me, so I really never do. You'll never catch me doing a wing liner on myself. But yeah, so just stop the liner where the black is and kind of gives me like a smoked out effect. And I was trying to add the like cat eye corner. Such a struggle. So much easier for me to do on clients though. Now I'm just lining my waterline with my MAC Feline eyeliner pencil. If you do have a sensitive eye, I do recommend taking your time with this step to avoid having a teary eye. Now I'm taking my NYX Milk Jumbo pencil and applying that on the back of my hand. And then I'm going to use a thin brush and place that right underneath that black eyeliner. This is going to be the base for the blue eyeshadow color that I'm going to place underneath my eye. So the white eyeliner allows the color to pop more, and it'll allow it to also stick without having that much fallout. And notice that I'm applying it working in small sections, little by little. So whenever you want to put a color in your waterline or even underneath your eye, use the NYX Milk Jumbo pencil. It'll definitely help the color stand out more and definitely help it stay in place. And here I'm just trying to achieve that cat eye that I wanted, so I'm just connecting the top and the bottom liner and making that corner pointy as I can. Now I'm using my MAC Mineralize Skin Finish in the shade Dark, and I'm just going to use a little bit of that to help me dust away the setting powder that I had on my face. I was baking with Sasha Buttercup setting powder. Now I'm going to conceal the top of my brow using that same concealer, LA Girl, in the shade Cool Tan, and my Bdellium Tools brush. If you're not new to my channel, then you know I always do this step after I do foundation. My brows were so this day. I honestly hated my brows. They were like super duper thick, but work with what you got, trying to grow them out. So when I was blending out my concealer, I accidentally tapped my beauty blender on my eyebrows, so it took away some of the product, and I honestly didn't feel like fixing it, so it is what it is. Now I'm just lining my lips with MAC Cork Lip Liner, and then I used a Buxoum Lipgloss. I don't remember the name, but of course everything will be listed down below in the description bar. Be sure to check that out. So yeah. Now I'm going to set my face with my favorite setting spray from Morphe. Absolutely love it, love it, love it. All I can tell you is if you don't got it, get it, girl. You need it. So for my bottom lashes, this is my favorite top one. Like no other mascara can replace this mascara for me. It's super duper perfect for applying mascara to the bottom lashes, and I feel like it gets all the bottom lash hairs. Now for the fun part, to apply glitter underneath my eye, I'm going to use this Urban Decay glitter liner and this chunky glitter that I got from Aliexpress, and I'm going to apply that right in the inner corner of my eye. You can apply it underneath your whole eye, but I don't really like that look, so I just typically just apply it halfway or either just in the inner corner, and I use the glitter liner as an adhesive for the chunky glitter, so I don't add any extra glue. Now to apply bottom lashes underneath my eye, I like to use individual lashes, and I cut them so that way they're not really long. Here's what the lashes look like before I cut them, So you guys see they're Ardell individual lashes. So what I do is I take some glue and I apply that on the back of my hand, and then using a tweezer I basically take the back of the tip of the lash and dip it into the glue, and then I just leave it resting on the back of my hand while I set up the remaining lashes. So I use a total of 6 lashes, 3 on each side. So I dipped all 6 into the glue and I rested them on the back of my hand, and then I went ahead and placed them right in my waterline, right on top of where I placed my black eyeliner. When you finish, you should not feel the lashes. Pretty much they will feel weightless. Even when I do this on my clients, I ask them, do you feel anything? They say no. So the feeling of it is weightless. You might see them there, but it's definitely weightless. So this is the final look. I hope you guys enjoyed this makeup tutorial. I know it's been a while since I did a makeup tutorial on myself, and I pretty much just wasn't like into doing eyeshadow for a while, and I just didn't really feel like recording myself. Like I felt like my looks were boring or you guys weren't interested, so I started recording my clients instead, because I felt like those videos would be more helpful to like aspiring makeup artists. But yeah, so I'm back. Be sure to check out my other makeup tutorials. If you have any video suggestions, also don't hesitate to let me know. I'm all here for like any kind of looks that you guys want to see, pretty much. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys really enjoyed this tutorial. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Thank you. Bye bye. I see you in my next video. Okay.